Well, the first one I used was Drum Leveler, which is what got me excited about the company, because that's an example of something that couldn't be done in the analog domain. I mean, that's the idea that you can even out the different volumes of snare and kick drum hits or tom hits or whatever instrument it is painlessly. I mean, hitherto you'd use a compressor to achieve that, and that's not to say I wouldn't continue to use compressors, because compressors are good sound shaping devices as well. So I still do that, but when you've got tremendous variations in drum levels, that I mean, dynamics are good, and that's fine. I'm not trying to knock dynamics, but sometimes you want consistency, and if you need consistency, then it's great to get that instantly. And to have that displayed on the screen in the graphical timeline they give you is really good. But the other aspects of it are what you can do with what happens between the beats. So it's the best noise gate I've come across. I remember when the first Keypex came out in the early 70s, and that was fantastic. You can get rid of the hi-hat from the snare track, but it's not perfect. I always felt I had to set up a kind of a pre-trigger in order to make sure the gate opened in time, and then you've got decay issues depending on how the snare was hit in the first place. That's instantly available in Drum Leveler. You can get rid of anything that happens between the snare beats really easily. But as well as that, you can take that information, like spillage from the hi-hat or grace notes, more importantly, and you can process them separately, because it's got this second threshold, which allows you to process and compress, or whatever you want to do, with the low-level information. And that's something I would always have to set up separate channels for, and get into elaborate phase changing to get rid of the snare from the spillage track. So I had a track which only had the grace notes on, and then there are always little bits leaking through, and I mean, it's instant with Drum Leveler, so that's fantastic. I can imagine that I'm going to be using Drum Leveler certainly on any live kit. It's a matter of control. You always need control over what's happening. With a lot of plugins, you think, okay, I'm going to try this plugin, put it on. Sometimes you don't use it because it doesn't actually have a sufficiently beneficial effect. But I think these are the sort of plugins that I would certainly reach for initially as being the first attempt at solving a problem or improving a sound or something. I'd reach for them because they're original. Nobody else is doing this. This is new stuff as far as I'm concerned.